4 categories of where you are in your life right now. You can use a scale of 1 to 10 if you like, or you can just write it out in your journal on a piece of paper. And once you've done that, I want you to take a look at where you are right now in your life and where you would be with that dream magic wand life. And my guess is that there's a gap. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this show. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start giving you tools to move forward and to help close that gap. Okay? So the first thing that I want to encourage you to do is create some sort of dream board. And again, once you've done this, you have your magic wand life, I want you to take all of the components of everything that you want to attract into your life, and we are going to create a visual representation. I call it the Remember Forward Dream Board. If you've read any of my books or listened to your best friend calls, you know I always talk about remembering your hopes, wishes, and dreams as if they've already occurred. So today we're going to make a Remember Forward Dream Board, and we're going to put on there a soul statement, and in a moment I'm going to teach you how to make that. We're going to create our different categories that you identified, the goals that you want to achieve in your life, and then we're going to get with specificity the different goals that you want to attract into each of those categories. Then we're going to have an arts and crafts activity, and we're going to create visual representations that represent all of those goals. They can be words, they can be pictures, they can be photos of people that are already in your life, or photos of people that you model. It doesn't really matter. There's no right or wrong. It's just what will represent that to you. And then I'm going to teach you the Remember Forward technique that's going to help you masterfully and powerfully attract in anything that you desire. So the first piece is creating a soul sentence. And what this is a sentence or a group of sentences that rings true to you in your soul. And so this is going to be kind of a guiding principle that anytime you're faced with a decision in life, you're going to ask yourself, does this line up with my soul sentence? And if it does, go for it. And if it doesn't, ask yourself the question, what could I do or what choice could I make that would allow this to line up with my soul sentence? Does that make sense? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share mine with you. I created mine about 10 years ago at a Tony Robbins seminar. And mine is, the purpose of my life is to have passion, health, and happiness, and to spread love and joy to others. So over the last 10 years since I've created that, I've done many different things. I've toured the world as a coach and mentor. I've owned a spa in a small town. I've worked in Fiji at a cleansing resort. And as long as all of the choices that I made lined up with my soul sentence, I was able to be happy and to find peace and joy in what I was doing and inner fulfillment. So take a couple of moments and write down on a piece of paper a sentence or a group of sentences that rings true to you in your soul. Again, what do you want to have, do, be, and share with the world? Now, after you've done that, the next step is to identify different categories. So if you're interested in learning more about the dream boards, you can check out my website, and there's actually a separate video you can download that teaches you step by step with visuals how to do this. But we're going to use our imagination, and we're going to create a start, kind of a shell of a dream board here. So what I want you to do, in a moment I'm going to flip over the paper, and we'll start with the exercise. But I want you to take that soul sentence, and I want you to go to a local craft store or drugstore, Walgreens, something like that, and buy a poster board. And at the very bottom of the poster board, I want you to write out your soul sentence. So there's an example here of mine. And again, mine is, the purpose of my life is to have passion, health, and happiness, and to spread love and joy to others. So after you've done this, I want you to create the different categories that you're going to focus on in your life. So what I want you to do is I want you to imagine your life as a circle or a wheel. And within that wheel, I want you to identify all of the different things that you spend time on. So for example, if you're spending time on your health, you're working out, you're preparing healthy meals, make a category or a pie for that. If you're in a relationship or time that you spend with family, friends, coworkers, make a pie for that. And put the percentage that you feel that you're currently spending in your life. If you want to attract in more finances or focus on your career, create that pie. Whatever it is to you, again, there's no right or wrong. For me, I do recommend that people focus on at least these categories, the areas of love and relationship, health, time management, and career and finances. And you can add as many or as few pies to your wheel as you like. And then what I want you to do is I want you to imagine where you are now versus where you want to be with that wheel, okay? So after you've identified the different percentages, what I believe you'll notice is that some of the areas are a little bit out of whack from where your dream life would be. And so a story I like to use is if you truly imagine this was the wheel of life for you. Say it's a wheel on a car or a bicycle, and you're trying to get to your destination, yet your time management wheel is completely off. How are you going to get there? You're going to kind of ka-clunk, ka-clunk, ka-clunk your way there, right? Well, what we want to do with these techniques is we want to create a very smooth journey for you so that your whole wheel is balanced and you're able to get to your dreams and get to your destination easily and effortlessly. So on your board, what I want you to do is I want you to write out the words of the different categories. So again, there's love and relationships, and this will be specific to you. This is just my example. There's time management. There's career and finances. And notice that I separate the two because I am so blessed to be around so many entrepreneurs in my life. And so I don't necessarily believe that your income potential has to be just the job that you have. There's so many things that you can do and create in the world. So really be specific on what your dreams are and what you want to attract into this category. And then a big one for me, a very important one, is health. So after you've identified all of these different categories, we're going to flip back over to our list here. And the next step that I want you to do is I want you to identify your goals in each of the 4 areas. The more specific you are, the easier it is that you're going to be able to attract this into your life. A little tip about visualizing, and I'll cover this a little bit more when we get to the Remember Forward technique, but the mind doesn't actually know the difference between what you've imagined and what is real. And so with quantum physics, they've actually studied that, and they've realized that if you visualize every single day this beautiful life where you're surrounded with abundance and love and health and happiness, well, the mind thinks that that's already happened, so it's going to lead you in that direction. It's going to cause you to make choices or put choices in your path that you can choose to get to your destination. So after you have your goals, what I want you to do is I want you to write those specific goals out in each area. So for example, for me, time management, travel, and fun are big categories for me. And I like to write out where I want to go on a trip that year. So this year I'd really like to go to Bali. I want to go to Africa and do some volunteer work. And so I'll write and so on and so on and so on. And if you know when you want to do those things, for example, if I know I want to go to Bali in March, well, write that out too, because again, the more specific you are, the easier this is going to be. With love, I want to attract in an amazing, mutually beneficial, trusting, loving, empowering relationship where I'm able to travel the world with my partner and change lives. So write that down. Career and finances, I know that I want to sell over 1 million copies of my books and products. I want to go on the Oprah Winfrey Show. And I want to continue to have this amazing career where I'm able to reach people like yourself and help them realize their goals. Health and happiness, I have this little saying, I want a smoking hot, bikini-ready body. And what that means to me is that I want to have balanced health where I feel like I could jump on a plane to Mexico, throw on a bikini, and feel really good about myself. So there's a lot of components that go into that. For me, I like to run 3 days a week. I like to do Bikram yoga 2 days a week and have balance and moderation in every area. And so write down each specific goal. The more you have on there, again, the easier it is. I can't stress that enough. And then the next piece that we're going to cover is visual representations. And I know it's not so much fun to watch this white piece of paper, but you can create some beautiful, amazing vision boards. And I really encourage you to do that. And the next step is cutting out of magazines or photos visual representations for each and every goal that you want to achieve. So for me, I would put a picture of somebody volunteering